105.3, 107.7 FM, coming to you live from beautiful New Orleans. Julia Evans, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. I hope you're well, and I hope everybody else is well on this beautiful night. If you're here in Cornwall, I'm not too sure about the rest of the UK, but if you're here in Cornwall, it is an absolute stunner of a night. Outside is just absolute beauty. The stars are just an immense. They are absolutely. I'm just going to put the mic directly in front of me tonight. The stars are out there in absolute glory. It's just heaven. Jacqueline Marsh, good evening and welcome to the show. How wonderful to see you. I'm going to bring you up. Whoever, whoever that is, welcome. Whoever from is. I'm not too sure what. Hi, that's not Francis. Francis. But anyway, welcome nonetheless. And as Facebook user, I can't actually see who you are. So why don't you zip across to YouTube and this other wonderful Facebook user here, all the way from Texas, y'all. Be wonderful if you could go across, zip across over into YouTube. So come out of Facebook into YouTube, and in the search bar at the top, just type in Paul Francis Medium. It'll take you straight to this show via YouTube. And the reason why I send you there and in from YouTube is, number one, I can see who you are because Facebook won't let me see who you are. And number two is it's a lot more stable. It's far, far, far more stable on YouTube than it is on Facebook. Excuse me very much. Julie Evans says it's good, thanks. And Trudy says, had to drag myself away from the sky tonight. Was losing myself in them stars. Hope you appreciate it. And she says it like that too. She goes, hope you appreciate it. You better appreciate it. Trudy, I am absolutely flabbergasted. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that so very, very much. Facebook user went, Mr. Francis, Paul will be fine. Thank you very much. But please zip across to YouTube. Do what I said in the YouTube at the top in the search bar. Just type in Paul Francis Medium. It'll take you straight back to this show. Same show, but I'll be able to see who you are. Sue Vinicum. Hello. Sue, how are you doing on that? James Chalice has joined us. Jimmy boy, how's it going up there in Scouseland? I do hope you're well. I'm just reading out here on my mic preamp that you are wrecking it with your voice, you idiot. Bring it back a bit. So I've just brought that back just a smidge so you can hear me without sounding like I'm trying to blast open a door. James Chalice, I've known James for a long, long time. He is one of my dearest pals, and I hope you're well, mate. It's great to see you in the chat room. Thanks for being here. Jackie Ginden, Jackie, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming back. It's wonderful to see you again. Appreciate that very much. Trudy's laughing her head off. Vanessa Bowes, good evening, Vanessa. How are you? How wonderful to see you. Myra Grant, welcome, Myra. Lovely to see you from the Republic of Texas. Y'all are welcome in this show anytime. That was my Texas accent. I'm sorry if it sounds rubbish. Golden Age of 777. Howdy, y'all. Hugs from Canada. And I would so gladly receive those hugs. Thank you. Wonderful, cool name, Golden Age 777. Sounds like a casino, but it's cool nonetheless. Kay Sequin is in the house. This house is clear. Kay, welcome to the show, darling. It's wonderful to see you. Tina can too. Tina is here. Wonderful, Tina. Good to see you. What we on tonight, says Vanessa. I'm actually on water. That's water. But y'all going to find out what we're talking about tonight. Lynn has joined us as well. Lynn, good evening. I hope you're well. Kathy Little, howdy, Paul. Renee Hamley, good morning, Paul. Staying focused, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to get I'm going to bring that one back out. I'm going to bring Renee up here so I can see it properly. Good morning, Paul. Stay on Facebook if that's okay. It's your call. I can see who you are because you give it an okay. YouTube asks me to sign in. I absolutely love watching your shows while I'm getting ready for work. Renee, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. It means it means a lot that I'm bringing some sort of joy to people's lives. And honestly, I don't not just saying that. Um, Kay, YouTube post this, Kay. Jimmy Chalice is saying he's saying Mr. Francois. So he's taking the Mickey out of me. I wouldn't be surprised if it was him taking the Mickey out of me, actually. But he's allowed to because we've spent many a time backstage getting ready to do shows together, and he's a superstar. All right, tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, is, first of all, let me tell you who it's brought to you by. It is brought to you by UPRN, which is the United Public Radio Network, and it's brought to you on 105.3 to 107.7. Did you like the new sequence, the new intro sequence? It's cool. Did you see it? Let me show it to you again. Let me show you the new intro sequence. Give me a second. You got to see this. You ready? I'll be back in 1 second. Check this out. Oh, come on. Give me your feedback. What do you think of that? Is that not the coolest? I had to show it again because I was so happy with it. It was so cool. Puffins, good evening, says Puffins, welcome to the show. It's great to see you, Susan. I can see Sue in her kitchen right now going, giving it, ooh, yeah, that's cool. Sue Finnegan, welcome, my darling. Lovely to see you. Pump it up, says Golden Seven. Lisa Clement, Lisa Clement Payton, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Oh, I heard something take a fall there. What the heck? Quality intro, bud, says R. James. Jackie Marsh says, it's brilliant, very cool, says Tina. That's awesome, says Kay. Now, thank you very much for y'all being here. Please don't forget to share the show. Tell everybody that you know that we are live and tell them how to get here. The safest way to do it is via YouTube, and it's very simple. But however, tonight's show, don't forget, if you are a Roku TV fan, we are live on Roku TV right now. I want to say to you as well, tonight's show is all about ghosts and spirits. What's the difference? I'll tell you about that in a minute or two. Ghosts and spirit, but not, I don't want to be hogging the airwaves talking about my experiences. I've experienced paranormal activity with our Trudy, you know. Oh yeah. Trudy was there the night when she videoed the glass when it was flying around that table. She videoed that, and quite a few other places that we videoed, and table tipping. Have you ever seen table tipping? Woo, mama. That's fun. Trudy's going, I got that's for the intro music, which is cool. I saw mom's ghost at our house. Okay, right. Listen, for y'all, get your those stories together, right? Get them together, okay? Because I want to hear about your stories. Yes, I will share my stories. I will share my stories. Kay Sequin, I saw my mom's ghost at her house. I want to talk to you about that. All right. I want to bring you on the show and talk to you about it. Okay. That's what I want you to do. Paul, a few weeks ago, I just want to bring that up onto the screen because it's easier for me to read here. Paul, a few weeks ago, we talked about my sister who's not well. I'm with her right now, and I'm wondering whether or not Jackie, I don't do readings on Thursday nights. That's only on Reach Across, which is Monday nights, my darling. If something comes through for you, I don't hold back. I'll pass it on to you, right? But I don't do reads on a Thursday night. Thursday night's about discussion about paranormal, about ghosts. Tonight's topic is ghosts and spirits. Well, we talk about everything. The word paranormal is beyond normality, but I always say, okay, first of all, you've got to have a bench point to start with. And you know, they say paranormal, beyond normal. So, but what's normal? What's normal? What's normal to one person won't be normal to another. Okay, so it's all about, you know, having a bench point to start from. And anyway, we'll get onto that. Um, so Jackie, I would, if something comes through and I can share with you, I will definitely do that. But tonight's show is all about discussions and finding out about what is all involved with normality and all stuff like that. But welcome nonetheless, and welcome to your wonderful and dear sister. Thank you guys for both making the effort to be here tonight. Got another Facebook user. There you go, saying that, and I can't really tell who you are because please, please, please zip across to YouTube. Come out of Facebook, go onto YouTube, type in the YouTube. When it comes up, it opens up as YouTube. On the top, it'll do a search bar. Just type in Paul Francis Medium, and it'll bring you straight back to the show where you'll be able to come in and go live. Dawn Hatton is in the house. Dawn, my darling, how are you? And I hope everything is wonderful and cool on up there in Truro. Again, Facebook user. I'd love to be able to talk to you who you are, but please, please, please zip across to YouTube and I'll be able to talk to you directly. I have a question. If you pass and get reincarnated, I'm one of your loved ones. Okay, let's read that again. I have a question. If you pass and you get reincarnated, period, I'm one of your love. One dies. Will you be in heaven or earth? I'm sorry. Could you maybe rethink that question because it doesn't make any sense to me. It's most likely me. I'm dyslexic, so but I'm not picking up what you mean there. But please put it to me again. Happy to answer it. Jackie says, "Thank you. I will participate accordingly." Well, thank you, Jackie. And thank you for making that effort. It means a lot to me that you make the effort. I genuinely mean that. I don't not saying that just to be fun. And I said I am very grateful for everybody who makes any effort to come to the show. I can't tell you how much. Lise says, Paul, let's have a crack, bring that across. Lisa says, Paul, I do have questions for you. Does my deceased daughter have a message for me? Your deceased, if your daughter has crossed over, my darling, your daughter will be trying to talk to you. I can guarantee that. Okay. Um, Here's the question, not a question. Here's a concept that I share with everybody. Like, first of all, tonight's show is not about reads. I don't do readings on tonight's show. I'm happy to answer questions and stuff like that and about the subject matter. However, here's what I share everywhere, Elise. Just think about this for a second here, and this is what I want you to take on board. I want you to think about it on a very logical basis. Okay, when you cross over to the other side of life, okay, will you want to talk to your loved ones through a third party? That me, I'm the third party. Okay, will you want to talk to me through talk to your loved ones through me, or will you want to talk to them direct? Which one would you choose? I'm not just saying that to Lisa, I'm saying that to everybody. Everybody. Okay. So when you cross to the other side of life and you realize you have the ability to communicate, are you going to wait till they go in front of a medium, or are you going to want to talk to them direct? I'm going to tell you here and now, I'm going to want to talk direct. Okay. And your family and friends who cross to the other side of life do that. They don't do it like they don't turn up in your living room and go, "Hi." There'd be a lot more people in A&E if that happened. All right. Because most people would just faint, pass out, and hit their head on something and then end up in A&E, if not with them on the other side. Anyway, point being here is they will talk to you, and they will talk to you in multiples of ways. They'll talk to you in very distinct, subtle ways, or they'll talk to you in very poignant ways. Poignant ways. What does that mean, Paul? Right. Things like you get into your car, you switch on the engine, up comes the radio, and up comes a tune that is directly linked to that person. And you go, "Oh my God, that is not circumstantial. That is, you had to be in that car at that time, switching on the radio at that time to hear that song. That is just not, it's set up. Okay. That's their way of trying to get your attention. Very often you'll walk through your house and you'll get a scent. maybe a perfume or an aftershave or the smell of a tobacco or cigarettes, be it pipe or cigar, whatever, or maybe the smell of baking, for an example. But any fragrance that will draw you to a person, so that will happen. You will get things like you drop it in front of you, like coins, for an example. That's very common. Um, for myself and Johanna and our daughter Maya were out today, and twice we found feathers in front of us. That's we very often called an angel's calling card, but very often a loved one trying to let you know they're around you. So your daughter, Lise, will be very much trying to speak to you. Now, the best way to hear her, and I mean this with absolute love, is to just sit quiet. Just and I know because you're a wonderful mom, you're gonna be going, come on, please talk to me. But when you do that and you tense, you're sort of, your scanning equipment, if you want to call that, comes way out from right here, right into there. Because you're gonna want her to talk through here. That's not how they do it. The bigger and more open you are, the better chance you have of hearing from them. So relax. They may want to talk to you about just something as simple as that. Something as simple as that. And let them talk to you. And they will. I promise you they will. But just have a bit of patience. Try and remain quiet and open to how they want to get to you. But they will want to talk to you, but they'll want to make that introduction as gentle as possible so as not to scare you. So thank you for being here, Lise. I hope that helps you in some way. But please, please, please do think about what I've said to you and how it's going to help you. Alrighty. So let's go back into the comments here and let's have a look. Righty, let's go. I've got to go back one. Um, I'm not too sure what that means. This side. I'm not in. I don't know. I just want to let you know that we are seeing you. Case sequence says Tina. Well, didn't see what Tina says. I've seen blankets move up in the air with no one there, and the curtains move closed with no one there. People in my room and around my bed at night. Tina, get yourself ready. I'm going to give you an intro to come in and to the show and come on here and talk to us. That sounds like a plan to me. K Sequence says, that would freak me out. I feel that there's people in my room sometimes. Shared a few minutes ago, says Julia. By the way, that's a message to y'all. Share the show. Share it not only with your friends and family, please do that, but please share it with your groups, especially your groups. All right. Vanessa May says, good evening, y'all. Good evening, Vanessa. Wonderful to see you, darling. Okay, so Puff says, while driving through Crime Town in Helston, in the wee hours of the morning, my colleague and I saw a monk type figure standing at the bus shelter opposite the pub. We stopped and reversed back, but it had gone. I have driven through. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Now the thing about it is, Puffin, is what we want to do at this point is research the area. So research the area to see why a monk-like figure would be there. Alrighty. So what you need to do is get, the crime time. Was there, like, for example, brothers teaching? Very often monk-like people were referred to as brothers. Would they have been teaching in the area? Would there have been a monastery in the area? So that's how when we're doing paranormal investigations and ghosts, the history has a big sort of indication of what you might be able to find, see, or encounter. So best thing to do is get involved with that. First of all, well done for spotting it in the first place. And second of all, let's have a look. Let's see, because I live about, crikey, at this moment in time, I live around about 6 miles from Crown Town. So let's have a look at the area and see if there's anything in that area. It'd be great to share that together, and see what we find. Be interesting. That I bet everybody else is going, "Ooh, I want to know more about that." Sue says, "I've seen a ghost on the road many times in the same place." Now, what I want you to do is tell me about the place. Now, is it in an area where you might have expected an accident to happen? to happen, sorry, would it be an area where that accidents might be frequent, because that could well have been the the spirit of someone who is maybe knocked down and killed on the roads, and is, for all intents and purposes, haunting that space. So, Sue, share that one with us, darling. Good to see you on the show, by the way. You're looking great. Let's have a look down. I wish I had the ability. You have, Vanessa. If you've got the ability to hear me speaking, you've got the ability to hear them. Okay. There's no what a lot of people do. So I'm going to bring Vanessa's message up so you can see what she says. I wish I had the ability to hear them. Okay, let me share what that means. You People think they want to hear someone speaking to them. They Okay, as a psychic medium, I hear it in two, maybe three ways. Okay, I'll hear it through a gadget, an electronic gadget, where they will use that gadget to speak to us. Okay, that's one way. The second way is I'll hear it audibly through my own ears, like, and you'll hear like, "Hi, what? Oh." You hear things like that. Um, can be very freaky at times, to be absolutely honest with you. And the third one is you'll hear maybe a sequence of words, like a sentence, and you'll think, "Did I just think that?" That is the time when you step back with your own conscience. This is what I, not conscience, conscious. Okay. This is where mediums, over many, many years of training, know the difference between their own thoughts and what a spirit energy is putting into their mind in the form of a communication. So when you start hearing, or in your mind and in your head, you start hearing repeated sentences or repeated messages, that's very often spirit trying to talk to you. Okay, so you can hear them. A lot of people don't like hearing it audibly. They don't like to hear "hi, she, hi." They don't want to hear that because it freaks them out. It freaks me out still when I hear it. But very often, they will use communication through electronics. So you can hear it through a radio, like a normal radio. You can hear it through phones. I had a person send me a text yesterday about which they think was their daughter trying to communicate to them, because it just didn't make sense, all of the words, and there were specific words there that related specifically to her daughter. And I said, do you know what, I've got a feeling this could well be your daughter trying to get your attention. um because, like I said, it had to arrive there. Now, she told me that it came from her son's phone, and if he is totally and utterly focused and adamant that he didn't do that, there's a very likelihood that that could happen. Now, the reason why I'm going to say yes to that is this: I had my phone said, "Mom and Dad home," and I did miss call. Now, this is when my mom just passed some time ago now, and it said "Mom and Dad home." So I remember looking at the phone, thinking, "Oh, Dad's trying to call me." So I rang the house, no answer. So I left it for a little while, rang again, still no answer. Left it about 2 hours, rang once more, nothing. I carried on with my day. Last thing at night before I went to bed, I thought, I'll give him a quick call again. I was starting to get a bit worried. I hadn't heard from him. So I rang him one more time, no answer. And so the following morning, I rang my brother and I said to him, "Hey, listen, I had a missed call from Dad." And he goes, "Yeah, okay." And I said, "Do you know where he is?" He said, "Yeah, he's standing, he's just here beside me. Do you want to talk to him?" And I said, "What?" I've left a chunk of the information out there. When it said "Mom and Dad home," it's our home in Ireland. Okay. When I rang my brother, it was Newquay in Cornwall, and he said, "Dad's sitting beside me." So I spoke to Dad and I said, "Listen, I got a missed call from the house," and he went, "Well, I've been here for 2 days." I said, "Well, look, I've got a missed call on my phone." And I said, "Well, listen, I'll come up and I'll see you today or tomorrow." So I went back up. I picked out the missed calls. I went, "There you go. Look, one missed call." And he noted the time and date, what time the call came in, and so on and so forth. And about 4 or 5 days later, he went back to Ireland, and he went on to his phone system. He checked through the electronics that he has that would say many calls came in and went out. He then phoned the phone company and said, "Listen, there's a phone call being made from this number at this time on this day," and the phone company went, "Nope, we don't have any record of that." And he's going, "No, no, I've seen the record." And he went, "Well, we have no record of any calls coming up from that telephone number." So I I concluded with all of that my dad didn't call me. It didn't come from his telephone number. It was my mom using my own personal equipment to let me know she was around. And that is the God's truth. Okay, that actually happened. So they can talk to you. Just be open to how they talk to you. Sue says, "Hey, researched it, found a story about him. And if you want me to tell you, it's going to cost you." Oh, yeah. She didn't say that last bit. I just made that up. But listen, come on, share, Sue. Share with me, my love. I did receive a telephone call from a deceased person at one time, says Jackie. Oh, see, same as me. See, our friends and family in spirit, they can manipulate electronics, no matter what kind of electronics. They can mess with your TV, they can mess with your lighting, they can mess with anything that has power or energy, especially like anything is battery operated. They can mess with that big time. You very often, if you've ever seen the paranormal investigation groups and they go out with their cameras and then all of a sudden the cameras are drained of energy. Yes, that's them. Um, Michigan is in the house. A little late, but here. Hey, listen, Michigan. First of all, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. And don't ever say you're late. You're not late. If you come in 5 minutes before the end of the show, I appreciate you being here. Okay. But second of all, that's all I get to see. Look, you see that? I don't get to see who you are. Zip over to YouTube, search bar, Paul Francis Medium. Boom. You'll be brought straight back to the show and I'll be able to see who you are, and off we go. It's cool. Cool as. So go and do that for me, Michigan. Don't forget, tonight I'm coming to you from the United Public Radio Network, which is coming out on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM, coming to you live from the very beautiful New Orleans. Okay. So welcome to tonight's show. Welcome to Spirit Quest. I am Paul Francis, your host. I should have said that really at the beginning, shouldn't I? Not that you don't know who I am. Dawn Hatton is, and by the way, everybody's having a great time in the chat room tonight. If you're listening to me live, get yourself near a cell phone, a computer, jump on there. And by the way, don't do it while you're driving. If you're listening to me while you're driving along the highway, don't do that. Okay, carry on to your destination or pull in, have a cup of coffee, and jump on YouTube and come in and join us. Say hi. So Dawn says to me, "I believe our loved ones can connect to us and we are on the same frequency as them. Most times when we think of them, we feel sadness. Mm. Be happy when you think of them. Don't shut up." They don't shut up. Now, let me be, let me sort of discuss what Dawn has got brought through. She's very right on most of that. Not all of it, but most of it. Okay. Um, First of all, she's right. I believe our loved ones can connect to us when we're on the same frequency as them. Well, that's not entirely true, okay? Because we're on two separate types of frequency completely. Now, mediums, what we have to do is we have to really, really raise our energy or our frequency. We got to push it right up, right up. And they have to, because they're on a really high frequency, they have got to lower theirs. So when the two cross over, that's where the data comes through. So she's kind of right, but slightly just out, slightly right. Most of the time when we think of them, we feel a sadness. Not necessarily. That's the person's choice over what they're getting. Okay. Um, when when I first got messages through from my mom, overwhelming sadness, mind blowing sadness to the point that I sat on the edge of the bed and cried like a girl. Okay. Apparently that's not PC anymore. I cried like a them. So, um, but once I figured out it was my dear and beautiful mom trying to get a hold of me, and then of course when my father passed over, the same thing. I was overwhelmed, but with absolute joy that they were coming through to me. So Here's the thing: nobody or nothing can dictate your feelings to you. You choose your feelings. Okay. So remember that when you're feeling sad over whatever subject matters, make what you think is making you feel sad, you're choosing sadness. Okay. You choose to feel one way or the other. Now you can be all up in my face and giving me, yeah, but what happens if this dies? It doesn't matter what happens. You still choose the emotion. You make a conscious choice to make the emotion. Now you make a subconscious choice for that particular emotion as well. But if you turn around and realize, like for an example, um, in this situation, if your loved one is trying to get through to you on a regular basis, and every time they try to get through to you, you feel sad, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to give up because they're going to go, well, I don't want to make her sad anymore. So I'm not going to do it. Okay. And even if they come through medium, you're going to feel sadness. So they're going to pull back further and further because they don't want to see you sad. So on that concept, once you manage to get that connection with your loved ones, be joyful for that connection. Be joyful because they've eliminated the concept of death. Think about that. Alrighty. So when they come through and they're coming through strong and firm, I remember, oh my gosh, I've shared this story so many times. I remember, oh, way at the beginning of my career, I was doing a reading and there was a gentleman, spirit energy. And I think I was doing a reading for his daughter. I think it was something along those lines. And I said to him in my communication to him, I went, how would you know? How could you feel that? Because you're dead. And his response almost immediately was, if I'm dead, how could I be talking to you? And I never forgot that lesson. So that is a brilliant lesson. If I'm dead, how could I be talking to you? So the whole message in that little tiny brief sentence was, I'm not dead. I'm happy. I'm here. And I want you to be the same. So now out of that little message our Dawn put up there, brilliant, brilliant lesson. And thank you for sharing it with me, Dawn. I love you to bits. You're an absolute rock star. Kay says, oh my God. Well, she says OMG. I got a scent the other day and I think it was my daughter. Well, okay. So in this situation here, where Kay has said, I had got a scent the other day which were linked and I think it was my daughter, then you say, brilliant. You log that. Okay. You say, right, I got that. Got it. Okay, I got it. You say her name out loud. I got it. Thank you. I got it. Please do it again. Okay. It took a wee while to figure out that my mom was sending me a robin, but when I figured it out, I get robins all the time now, no matter where I am, and no matter what time of the year. If I need a robin, like today, we were looking at a particular new house, and I was thinking, oh my God, do you know what? I think this would be the house my mom and dad would love. Sure enough, just as we were pulling up to the gate, a robin flew up and sat on the gate. I kid you not. My daughter Maya saw it, and she went, looked at Robin sitting on the gate. I was like, oh my God. Okay, gotcha. So yes, Kay, say, right, got it. Thank you very, very much. Now do it again for me. Please do it again for me. Alrighty? It's cool as. So Sue says to me, after my dad passed, we would find buttons lined up on the floor, ones we'd never seen before. How cool is that? How cool is that? Dad sending you lining up little buttons to say I'm here. And the very fact is how cute and how easy of a connection, because you guys were starting to make that connection and you're associating that beautiful connection with your dad. So it was a gentle, easy ease into him letting you know he was around. Oh, wow. Absolutely beautiful. Lynn says, I found a penny and then a 20p piece and then a white feather all while in town. Um, I was given by my friends and family in spirit, I was given coins. These coins turned up every single time my one of my children was born. When Rosie was born, when Brandon was born, when Maddie was born, when Maya was born, a coin turned up, and it was very, like for example, when Rosie was born, a sixpence. It was a sixpence. Now you might think, oh, that was just coincidental. No, 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 no. Sixpences, sixpence pieces were very, very poignant to me because my grandmother used to make a this thing called an apple dumpling, and in the apple dumpling, she would wrap up sixpenny pieces in like a little paper thing and a wee note on the paper, and it was a kind of a traditional dessert at a certain time of the year. And I used to say to her, "Con, you got to do that again, Gran. Come on." And so the sixpence piece was very, very poignant. And I find one in my garden on the day my daughter was born. So wow. Okay. And then Brandon 50 pence piece with a certain thing on the back of it, and so on and so forth. Um I know it no, it was a shilling for Brandon, and then a 50 pence piece with for Maddie, and Maya was a 20 pence piece, but it had a very special date on it. So it's amazing that how they will let you know they're around you. Okay. Trudy says, I want to learn how to communicate with our past loved ones. I know from experience that Paul is one of the best people to teach you. Oh, no, she says, if you want to learn how to communicate with past loved ones, I would love to learn how to read. So if you want to learn how to communicate with your past loved ones, I know from experience that Paul is one of the best people to teach you. You are beyond words a sweetheart, and I appreciate you very, very much. But she's saying that because she's one of my students and one of my best students as well. And that being said, I have Lynn in the room tonight, and she's also one of my students. So I will be doing that seminar very, very shortly, how to meet your guides. And the best thing about doing that is right after that, the seminar that follows that is how to link with people on the other side. So you might want to be signing up for that seminar very, very soon. Okay. Mary Reardon has said I'm not in. So Mary, come on in, darling. Come in through YouTube. Dawn says shared my tag page. Thank you, Dawn, my sweetheart. Lisa says, I'm a wee bit late, but Michigan is in the house. Do you know, Lisa, you're not late, and thank you for being here with all my heart. Thank you very, very much. Golden Age of 77, all the way from Canada, says, I often smell cigarettes burning or smoke like scent in my room. Great. Now, the thing is, what you got to figure out here is who who might, let the essence of that smoke come in again. Who would that actually draw you to? Okay. What memory does that trigger in your mind about which person it might draw you to? So give that an idea, kind of let it balance itself and get drawn to you. Oh my goodness. Gina is in the house and she's talking about EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. That's what that stands for. Don't you think it's dumb to spell phenomena with a P? Shouldn't it be spelled with an F? And phone. Do you know Ireland is the only place in the world that spells phone properly? Phone. Ireland spells it like that. Everywhere else has about a PH. Phone. What a stupid thing. Anyway, Gina, first and foremost, number one, thank you for messaging. Number two, thank you so very much for being here. And I hope the Fox Den is going as well. I hope to get close to how good the Fox Den is. Let's put it that way. It's good to see you, my darling, and I'm looking forward to coming on your show at some point in the very near future. And I hope you'll return said favor and come on here as a guest and have a chat with that. In fact, it'd be let's do that again. Yeah, let's set up dates where you come on here as well, because I know Gina has done a great many paranormal investigations, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your experiences tonight, about what you've experienced in relations to paranormal investigations, paranormal activity, your own experiences with maybe, friends and family who've crossed over. I want to hear it all. I want to hear about it all tonight. Share with me your experiences. Coming up very, very shortly, I'll be telling you about an experience, a couple of experiences I had as before I became a medium. And they were like, okay, they're mind blowingly scary. And after I became a medium, I realized it's just their way of trying to let me know they're there. Okay. Somebody asked me in the past, I got to be something in my eye there. Excuse me a second. Somebody asked me in the past, are the spirits and energies on the other side, or do they get angry? Um, Only the ones who choose to remain here. Okay, the ones who cross over, no. The ones who choose to stay here because they can't cross over for a particular reason, very often they will show signs of frustration more than anger, but never evil. Okay, I've never come across anything remotely evil per se. Okay, so let's go on down. Gina, first of all, thank you, my darling. Um, EVPs is a great way for our friends and family to talk to us, and I can show you how to do it. You can do it at home. Okay, right. So, Sue says I researched it. Yes, there was a man that had dropped off the opposite side of the dual carriageway after a night out. Boom. Good night, Irene. So he's now probably just letting his friends and family know that he's okay. Um, what would I do in that situation? I'd want to encounter him. I'd like to talk with him. What would I do? Well, what I would do is I would then sort of acknowledge that he's here and he's well, and he's experienced a situation that has got him to where he is. But I'd also like then tell him that he has the ability, and he should have with his friends and family who were there to collect him when he crossed over, to go with those. But because right after he goes with them, he will have the ability to come back to anywhere he wants. Okay. In other words, he can be able to visit his home, visit whatever time that he wants to visit. There's a lot more options open to them when they go and kind of get acknowledged to where they should be. Now, in relation to a ghost and a spirit, we're going to discuss that momentarily as I catch up with all the comments. Give me a drink first, Paul. I'm driving out here. Now, let's get Silver Lady 4260. Silver Lady, come on, Silver Lady, make my world. Welcome to the show. Golden Age says I've never smoked, but I often smoke. I often smell smoke in the bedroom. My youngest son passed in 2021, but I've been smelling smoke prior to his passing. Please bring Andrew in and ask him why. Um, I would be open to hearing. Andrew may well have made a stop in on Sunday. Sorry, Monday night. Now the reason why I don't do reads tonight is because I don't open up. Um, so I do a ritual prior the show. Okay, I have a little ritual which involves meditation and prayer, and it takes a wee while to me to get myself balanced, get my energy raised, and get myself into a state where I can be open to receiving messages. Um, and I don't do that tonight. Okay, I sit down here, kind of thinking the show through in advance, we're making some notes, etc., etc., and then we go on. And tonight's show's all about a discussion between you, me, and everybody else. So it's not kind of like I don't do reads specifically for that because I want to give everybody a voice, and that's what this show's all about. But please feel free to come along on Monday nights when I'm doing reads. And it's when you hear me saying to people, listen, don't just say, "Oh, is there anything for me?" Because the likelihood is going to be no. All righty, because it shows you're not really interested in making an effort. So if you're not interested in making an effort, why do you expect spirit to? Okay. So I will say, listen, build the energy on your side by asking questions, like just what Golden Age has just said. I've never smoked. I often smell smoke in the bedroom. My youngest son passed at 2020. First and foremost, I'm really sorry to hear your youngest son passed in 2021. I'm pretty confident that you'll. Oh, there's no words. I can't give you any words that would even bring you any kind of hope, because losing a child must be the most heart wrenching and heartbreaking thing. And I wish I was able to come up with something that I could put a hug around you and just make it go away. But I can say to you that when they cross over, and this is 35 years of working in this field talking, okay, when they cross over, they're met by their friends and family who went ahead of them. Okay. So all of the people who you guys mourned, so all the people who passed on and you had to mourn them and lay them to rest, are waiting for them. So they will be there and waiting to greet your son coming through. So literally, he will meet all of the people he lost. Okay, and it'll be like a party like atmosphere. Okay, and then they will orientate him as to where he is and how things work, and then they will also orientate him as to how he can communicate with you. Okay, they'll all work together. So don't necessarily think about your son as being smoking, but think a maybe a father, brother, grandparent, particular gentleman who maybe smoked cigars. I don't know, but something that who that smoke would draw you to. Now, the other side of the coin is, of course, it may not be anything directly to your family. It could be directly to the home. Okay, if you guys moved into the house and it was owned by somebody previous to you guys, could well be connected to that person. So it could well be what's referred to as residual energy. Okay. Um, but listen, we wouldn't be able to have this conversation if you didn't share that information with me. And I'm pretty confident that Andrew would be trying to get your attention. If, for an example, he's able to get your attention with that smoke, that's just because he's able to get your attention. He's got your attention. You're now paying attention, and he can build on that. So if you get that smoke again, why not say, okay, Andrew, if that's you, make a noise or do something that'll draw me to, to conclude it's you that's here. Okay. You're not testing them. You're just trying to communicate. They love it. They love being, you know, acknowledged that they're there. They love it. So you make that little effort and say, "Hey, listen, I know you're here. Thank you for being here. If that's you, Andrew, tap the wall, make a noise, move something, make something happen that I know that this you. Bring me to your room. Um, whatever that you would know that would draw you to conclude that this is Andrew trying to get in touch. But thank you for sharing. And I'm so sorry you lost your son. Trudy says they drain your batteries. Oh, do they ever? I've many a time that I went to pick out a flashlight, empty, dead of batteries, and I know I put brand new batteries in it, dead. Desiree says my dad left me a penny near his ashes yesterday. Oh wow, how cool is that? Letting you know he's around. He left you a penny near his ashes. Oh, I love stuff like that. Just their way of saying, I am here and I'm fine. Okay? I'm here and I'm fine. All right, that's what that means. And it means he's able to look in on you. He's able to help you. Okay? Pauline Hughes is in the house. Pauline, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Faye is in the house. Hey, Faye. Faye. Looking damn cool behind that desk. Damn cool. Did you guys see the video of Roger and Faye's new office? I was jealous. Jealous. All right. I was just thinking how cool that looks. Roger's looking almost, hey, this is my office over here. As he sits back, gets his feet up on his desk and he goes to his secretary. Woman, get me coffee. And Faye gets up and throws the entire desk at him. So, of course, that's just a joke. None of that happened at all. But their office is magnificent. So if you're in the area of Roger and Faye's new offices, go and pay them a visit. Okay, go and book it for some reads and make this office a successful business. Because guess what? Latino Psychic Visions is in the house. Come on, make it happen. Lovely to see you guys. Thank you very much for being here. Jackie says, Paul, I often hear doors open where it's impossible. Um, Well, yes. Yes, indeed. Doors rattling, doors knocking, doors being opened. That is very, very common. Drawers and cupboards being opened, very, very common as well. They'll do things like that again, once again, to get your attention. I'm trying to just catch your breath here. People say to me, "Oh, that's poltergeist activity," and My gosh, people are so willing to believe the negative that they just don't bother with the positive. Anyway, opening and closing doors. Okay, very often that is a way of just getting your attention. Okay, trust me, when a spirit energy is not happy that you're there, you'll know. Okay, but opening and closing doors is to say, I'm here. Okay, now there's a set of rules that spirit energies have to follow as well as we have to. Okay, so when an energy is in your room or in your house or in your space, they have to follow rules like, um, you can turn around and say, listen, okay, I know you're here. I'm glad you're here. However, you will not scare my children. You will not scare my animals. You will not scare me. And you will not do things to make us feel uncomfortable or unhappy. If you do, I will have you removed from the house and you can have them removed. Okay. It is possible. Roger says, I'm here, brother, at the office. I can see a brand new series coming up. The office? Roger sitting there looking cool, having one of his cowboy jackets on, smoking a big stogie. Hi, I've got your grandmother coming through. She says, stop smoking. What are you joking? I saw The Office, Roger. I saw that in the video. It looks cool. It looks really, really professional. It looks fantastic. And having the lovely Faye there as Vaz coming in for a read and being greeted by Faye, fantastic. And having a read room where you're going to be reading for your clients, and having a little conference room where you can be able to teach. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Looked brilliant. I am jealous. I'm definitely jealous. I'm definitely going to pay it a visit when I'm on tour in the US. I can tell you. Aloha, aloha. I was. Let's have a look at what case is. I will say that next time I smell it. I did have a smile on my face, and I said, "Is that you?" I said, "Thank you, Stacy." Okay, perfect, absolutely perfect. Now, listen, y'all. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Okay, I want to hear about your experiences that you've experienced in the paranormal. Okay, if you've seen spirits or ghosts, I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me about your experience, what you experienced. Importantly, how you felt. Um, Lynn says, I get the smell of Dettol from my mom. Every time we moved home, I also bought our caravan. We got the smell as well. Yeah, cleanliness. That kind of smell brings me back to my mom as well. She would always have the mop bucket full of Dettol. So it would be the smell of cleanliness would come. But my mom was a nurse, don't forget. So as well. Let's see what Julie says. After passing last Saturday, a robin came along, and later there was a trail. There was a trail for quite a way of white feathers. Oh wow, okay. And when driving twice after, a white feather fluttered right in front of my screen. So you were getting messages left and right, Jules. Sounds cool. Share. Tell me more. Tina Hawkins goes, hello, Paul. Hello, Tina. Thank you for being here. How wonderful to see you. How wonderful to see you. Thanks very much for being here. It's good to see you, and I hope you're well. Golden Age goes, ooh, rock on. Tony says, hi, Paul. Hi, Tony. Welcome to the show. My daddy smoked like a chimney. There you go. There you go. So it's most likely dad. Your son will be met with your pop. Your pop would have been his grandpop. He would have been there to see him through and look after him. You can be assured they're having a party. P-A-R-T. Why? Because they got it. Puff says, let's have a quick look here. Puff says, I just had a quick look regarding the monks near Crown Town, and the nearest reference is Brieg. What? Well, Brieg Grange, that is only a mile, 2 miles away at most. Apparently, the Grange house used to have the monks. Right? Okay. Then there you go. There's no reason why that cannot be. Now, the next thing to look up, Puffin, is why would that particular energy be in that spot? Okay, because way back when the Sistine monks were there, probably you would have had horse and carts. It wouldn't have been cars zooming past. So you might will find now the reason why I'm going to say this to you is because I used to live in Nancy Golden, as you know, way many years ago, and I used to see spirit energies walking right through our hallway, and I was like, okay, I didn't invite you into my house, but it turned out the house, our house at that time, was built over a pathway for people would walk to for the marketplace. So as far as they're concerned, they're still walking to the markets. Okay, so have a look to see that maybe where these monks might have gone to market, which very very common, or maybe they would have gone to for specific rituals, to do maybe something to do with standing stones, or maybe something to do with a holy place, a holy well, something like that. And so there'd be reasons why that particular monk would have been seen in that particular place. I did find my comedy head coming on though when you said he was standing at the bus. Was that Harry Potter's spirit bus he was waiting on? Couldn't wait. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist, Buff. Couldn't resist. Sorry. Okay, so Sue says it's like he's stuck. First time I saw him, I did an emergency stop with my children in the car. Knowing you, Sue, there was a few choice words that came out as well. So next time you see him, if you want to talk to me in advance of you approaching him, I'll help you through it. Um, Best thing to do, talk to me on Messenger, okay, and then send me a link to what information you find on this particular guy, and let's have a chat about what we could. Trudy says my mom told me that when she passes, she's going to find me a nice man. Oh, bless her, bless her. You're too picky. That's what the problem is. Um. Okay, Lisa says, do spirits follow you if you move from to another location? Basically, can they attach to you? Well, that's two questions, and the answer is yes to both of them. Okay, do spirits follow you from one location to another? Yes, they can. Like for an example, if you lived in what in let's say you lived in your house, and our house in Ireland, where it was 350 years of experience and history of people who were born and crossed. My dad literally crossed feet from where he was born. So, but if everybody then left that house and moved to a new house, will those spirits follow you? Yes, is the answer. Okay, they won't, because there's nothing really, no reason why they have to stay at that particular venue. So they will follow you to the new house. Yes, indeedy, and it's all good, good and strong. But if you're talking about a an attachment, which is something completely different, like for an example, if you're out doing paranormal investigations and you're not out with an experienced group or somebody who knows what they're doing, an attachment can happen. Okay. So my advice to you guys is this: if you're going out in paranormal investigations, which are fantastic fun, I love it, absolutely love it, then the go out with a team who know what they're doing, okay, and they know about protection and know how to filter protections when you finish. So being very much aware of saying thank you very much to all of the spirits who came to speak to us tonight. We wish you all the very best. We don't want you following us home. Please don't follow us home, and remain here, and we'll hopefully see you again. Thank you very much. And be very gracious and very conscious that you're being gracious, but being very conscious that you're saying you will not follow me home. And those are people, all of the people who came out with me when I was doing my paranormal investigations never were bothered, because I did a ritual of protection, a ritual cleansing at the end of each event, and declare the cloak of protection and prayer around each one of the guys. All went home happy, great night experience, and no one was ever bothered. So they can follow you, especially family will follow you. However, if you're on, for example, an investigation or in an area where, like for example, Sue, if Sue was this guy could follow Sue home. He hasn't obviously, but he could. But he could follow anybody on that road home, but he hasn't. But you can be very distinct and say, I don't want you doing this. Okay, let me help you cross to where you should be, but you will not bother me and follow me home. Okay. So great question, by the way, Lisa. Thank you for asking. Would you believe that we're already through the first hour? It just rockets. Now I want to invite some of you guys to come on and talk to me. All right, I want to invite you to come over here. Um, oh, bless your heart. Love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Dawn says I went on an investigation to Bodley Manor for days after, which I kept hearing the same name over and over and over. So I googled it, and it was a lady from the next investigation location. Oh wow, there you go. Share, share. Tell me what it's all about. Um, it is the worst thing to lose a child, says Kay. I'm pretty sure my dad came for my daughter. That is, I mean, as much as it's nice to know that it's not doesn't make the situation any easier, does it? Now, first of all, I want to say hi to Facebook user who's just come in and said hi. I can't say who you are. I'm so sorry. Um, my advice to you is zip across to YouTube. Come out of Facebook, go onto YouTube. In the search bar, type my name, Paul Francis Medium, and it'll bring you straight back to the show. Okay, and come right back here, and I'll be able to see who you are. So, but thank you for being here, nonetheless. Thank you. Yeah. So, Jules says, "Yeah, I saw The Office. Cool." Um, I'm just thinking, is there a new version of that comedy show, The Office, coming out, starring Faye and Roger? Interesting. We're so excited about you. Were so excited about your office. I saw you, and it's like you're looking so cool sitting there in your desk. I was like, oh my god, this looks great. It looks fantastic. Now, here's the thing, Faye. Okay, I want you to go and choose the art, the spiritual art that goes up on the walls, because Roger. Anyway, so I can hear him going, "Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks very much." Trudy, listen, darling, you are going to get a beautiful guy who will look after you. Okay, that's absolute. Sue says, I couldn't sleep last night, so watched Roger Fay till around 2 o'clock this morning. I say hi to Roger and would I say I says to Roger, I would you are you going to tell him that you were watching me? Okay, cool. Well, that's great. If you're here in the UK and you get nights of insomnia, which I do. I actually do get nights of insomnia, so much to the point that I actually had to go to the doctor and get medication to help me get back to sleep. But what a great way to while away those hours. Watch Latino Psychic Visions on a Saturday night. Well, for us, it's Saturday morning, about 1, 2, 3 in the mornings. But hey, why not? If you're awake and you can't sleep, why not join in? Angela McKendrick says, "Hey, Paul, good to see you." Angela, it's good to see you too. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Kay says, had the previous owner of the house pound on the bed frame one night, scared the crap. How do you know it was the previous owner of the house? That's my question. Tia says, "Hey, I'm sorry I'm late." You're not late. Thank you for making the effort to be here. I don't care how late in the show, how long the show's been going. That you go, hey, thank you for being here. I very much appreciate that. Trudy's got her. See, Trudy is my kind of like, listen, idiot, pay attention. You said you were going to do this. You're going to explain the difference between ghosts and spirits. We're waiting. Idiot. Okay, Trudy, I'm sorry. Difference between ghosts and spirits are as follows. You're watching me on uprnradio.com, and you're also watching me on Roku TV. For all of you listening to us tonight on FM, you're listening to us on 105.3, right up to 107.7 FM, which is coming to you live from the very beautiful New Orleans. To everybody listening to us live and around the world, welcome to tonight's show. You're listening to Spirit Quest Radio with Paul Francis, your host. And tonight we're discussing ghosts and spirits, but your experience is not mine. I will share some of mine later on. Trudy, my darling Trudy, who has been one of my closest friends for the last years, has said to me, tell the difference between ghosts and spirits, and they are as follows. Okay, ghosts. What Sue, our dear darling Sue Vinicombe, is experiencing, I believe, is a ghost. Okay, now the reason that is she's seeing the same guy in the same place doing the same thing on a constant repetitive, okay, on a constant repeat. So it's a ghost is more like a caption or a videotape of time that will continue to happen whether anybody's there or not. So it's gonna if you put your video player on continuous loop, that movie will happen whether anybody watches it or not. Okay. So a ghost is more of energy that is on in a loop. Okay. So that guy will walk across that road constantly whether anybody sees it or not. Now that's a ghost. You will interact with him because you'll look at that and go skidding up the road in your car like our Sue did. However, he will not interact with you. That's the difference. Okay, so he's just a video capture or energy replay. Spirits completely different. Okay, now spirit is energy again. It's very similar to ghosts. However, a spirit energy has conscious and is conscious and is also intelligent. Okay, so you will interact with a spirit and a spirit will interact with you. That is the difference between a ghost and a spirit. One interacts with you, one doesn't. Both are energy, but one has conscious. It's got conscious, so it has intelligence enough to respond to your being there. That's the difference between ghosts and spirits in a nutshell. All right. Lynn Fern says, my hairdresser, who believes, by the way, told me. I love that. Oh, I love it. My hairdresser, who believes, by the way, it's like it's like being in a secret society, isn't it? That her mom's house, which is very old, feels horrible and cold. Her mom is frightened to live there now. Well, okay, I'm not going to knock that because people who don't understand what's around them can be frightened, and this is why I'm saying that our friends and family who are on the other side of life, they will make tiny little efforts to let you know they're around you, because if they come in full guns blazing, they'll scare the life out of you, and they don't want to do that. Okay, so in her situation is a sitting down of her mom and saying, okay, let's discuss what it is you're frightened of. Okay, what has happened to make you scared, and then eliminate the fear, because that's only what they have over us really is the fear of the unknown. That's it. That's the only fear they got. So once you eliminate that, then the interaction with spirit becomes that much more gentle. All right. Okay. Tina says, with the things I see, my sister was okay. Let's read that again because things are moving and I'm sort of my eyes are flipping from one thing to another. With the things I see, did my sister? With the things I did see, my sister was there as well as a bed beside one in my bedroom. I was not too sure to be scared or not. It's kind of I acted like it didn't. Okay, so basically, the things I did see, my sister was there as well, and you both saw them in the side of your bedroom, and you didn't know how to react to that, so you kind of acted like it didn't happen. Now that's funny because my brother and I used to see something standing in the corner as well. Okay, and so you're looking at two lads, I don't know, maybe 4 and 6 or 6 and 8. Okay. And we're lying in our beds at night and we're like looking over in the corner and you're thinking, there's somebody standing in that corner. Can you see it? And they're like, oh my God, yeah. And so group paranoia ensues. But it was later on when I trained to be a professional medium, I realized that that person in the corner who was there was actually my guide. She said, yes, I was the one standing in the corner of the room. Wow. My sister is Lisa Cantu in Michigan, in the house. She's in the house. So Tina and Lisa, they're both ghost seers. Well done. Can spirits attach to an object? I'm told yes. Do I believe that? Mm. I have trouble. I'm not in a position to say yes or no. I'm in a position to tell you how I feel. Okay, that's different. That doesn't make me right. But I can't see why a spirit who now understands the true meaning of life, who's left this physical world, gone across to the other side of life, interacted with its loved ones, interacted with angels and the greater levels, for if you want to use it, the words God, or great spirit, or whatever your personal belief system is, would want to be attached to an object. I just don't get it. However, energy is attached to an object. That's different. There is a type of reading called psychometry, where a psychic will hold an object and they will get an energy read from the object. Because if you hold, for an example, okay, you've got rings in your hand, okay, in 100 years' time, and that ring is passed across to a psychic and he holds it in that hand, he will get a connection to your energy, to the energy you've imprinted on that object. So that can be the case. Very often, energy is imprinted on objects or places. And that's where psychics and mediums pick it up. Now, this is where you guys pick it up, right? You walk into a house and you could get a feeling of, oh, I feel like I've come home. Oh my God, it's making me feel wonderful. I feel so relaxed here. That's the energy of that room. Alrighty. Or you walk into the room and you feel, there's something creepy about this place. I just don't like that. That's the energy of the room. Okay. But if you have my book, The Safe Way, you will see many, many ways of how to change that energy. Okay. Energy can be changed. It's like changing the oil in your car. Uh, for those of you guys who have come across onto YouTube tonight for the first time, first of all, thank you. Second of all, please subscribe. Make sure you click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so that we'll tell you when we're going to be coming on live again. Okay, so subscribe, hit the bell icon. But here's the next part: like the video, like, hit likes on all of those videos. Smash that like button and share the show. Get it out there. Share it with your friends and family, but especially share it with your groups and get them to come in and be a part. Nobody here is judgmental, okay? People can talk to me. I will give them my honest opinion, but I'll be able to tell you what I know is truth and what I know is not truth. But equally, if something like, for example, I just shared with you, my personal feelings are this. Doesn't mean I'm right, wrong, or indifferent, but I know energy is attached to an object. I'm not convinced the spirit is, but that's me. Mona Shipley is in the house. Mona, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Both my daughter and I saw my son standing in the living room a day after he passed away. We both jumped out of our sleep and saw him. Oh, wow. Wow, Tony. How cool for you to be able to interact with your son. It's not uncommon. Very often, like a dad will be seen sitting in a chair, or a mom will be seen sitting in her favorite chair, and they can let you know that they're around by having what's referred to as a quick visit. Again, once again, it's very gentle because they don't want to scare you. So it's very, very gentle. But if you've managed to get that experience in Tony, how amazing. How amazing. And to share it um, with your daughter. Wow. You have no idea how many people would love to be able to experience that. Okay. There is another way that they can interact with you all. They can interact with you through the dream state. That is called a visitation. All right. So spirits and not ghost spirits, your spirit, usually the spirits of your family, can interact through a dream state in theta. Okay, you got alpha, beta, theta. Alpha is where we are right now. We're all awake, alert, and understanding. Beta is that place where you are down almost into sleep, but you're in that place where you can be hypnotized. That's beta. Theta is when you're gone. Now, theta is where your energies are more pliable, shall we say, and your spirit family can interact with that level of energy, and it can come through to you and referred to as a dream, but the correct terminology is a visitation. The difference between a dream and a visitation is this. First of all, a dream is your conscious and your subconscious getting together with all of the information that you've encountered through that day, the day before, maybe the day before that. And out of that comes a weird little dream, you know? 99.9% of the time, you'll forget it. It'll be gone out your head. A visitation is completely different. A visitation is all about what is happening between you and that spirit energy. You'll remember everything about it. You'll remember where you were, what happened, what you spoke of, what you were wearing, what you thought, what you felt, what they were trying to do, how they reacted to you as much as you reacted to them. And that is referred to as a visitation. That is a direct contact with someone that you love in spirit. And that is worth 1,000 readings, trust me. Okay. Now, he says, sitting up straight to stretch his back. One more time, just to let you know that I'm coming to you live on 105.3 and 107.7 FM from the beautiful New Orleans, coming to you on uprn.com, United Public Radio Network. You're listening to us here tonight on Thursday, the 2nd of March, and it's already 10:15. So that means I've got literally 30 minutes left. Let's get some more chatting going on here. Kay says I got to run for now. That's a bit of a shame because I wanted you to come on the show. But I'll see you on Monday. All right. Don't forget, guys, you have Roger and Faye's show this coming Saturday. This mug's for you, 10:30 in the morning in US time. I can't remember Central Standard Time, 10:30 in the morning. But here in the UK, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. So off you go there. Let's have a look at Renee has shared with me 20 plus years ago. Myself and a bunch of my friends were all moving into a house together. People told us that the house is haunted, and you laugh it off. But oh, was it haunted? She says. We saw shadow figures, shadows on the ceilings, doors. Uh, so, being a bunch of young kids, we decided to communicate with them and started doing seances. Okay, we got a lot of activity that way, and it was that time I realized I could be sitting across the room from a Ouija board, meters away from my thoughts. Um, right, okay. You were in, Renee. You're in that long line of people. Okay, there's lots and lots and lots of people have all tried that. Listen, spirit boards are not dangerous. Okay, if they're done correctly. If you basically go through the ritual, the sequence of opening and closing and protecting, you won't have any problems. Okay. It's those people who don't know what they're doing and mess with an area of business they shouldn't be messing with is when they open I hesitate to use the word portals. I don't like that word and I don't believe in it. But they open up connections and energies to come through and they don't close it down. And that's where it gets all kafooey and goes sort of backwards on itself. Seances are very similar. You're drawing forward the energy. You're not necessarily opening a portal for an energy to come through, because if you're dealing with a seance, it's energies that are already there. That's the difference. Okay. But nobody should mess in this area of business without having any kind of training or having somebody there who knows what they're doing. Okay. But Renee, thank you for sharing that, my darling. Would love to know what you kind of interacted with. Um, Seeing shadow figures. Well, at the end of the day, everybody who catches something peripherally, that'll be a shadow figure. Okay. So I don't really buy into that big thing too, shall we say, too greatly, because energies have got to try and get your attention, and it takes an immense amount of energy to get your attention. Okay. So very often they can only just manifest to the point of maybe a shape. And you hear all these idiots on these paranormal investigation groups said, "Oh, it's shadow figures and they're horrible," and like, oh, no, they're not. Okay. Big question: why do demons only appear in America? Hmm. Anyway, so my advice basically is, if you want to experience a seance, if you want to experience Ouija boards, fine, not a problem. Just do it with someone who's qualified. Do it with somebody who has experience and knows what they're doing, and you will have an amazing night, and you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine as long as you follow proper protocol. As prayer to begin with, only dealing with the highest possible level of energies, prayer, closing, and protection at the end. Okay? Prayer and protection to begin with. I'll say it again. Prayer, protection, begin. Only deal with the highest possible level of energies, those of a highest and noble intent. Close, prayer, protection, good night. Thank you. Elvis has left the building. Okay, she told me. Trudy's having a wee giggle to herself. Kelly McLaughlin's in the house. I have spirits at my job. Kelly, go on, get some video going. Okay, get the video going. Get your cell phone on, get it on the video mode, switch all the lights off. Just have the light on your cell phone and get some video going. I want to hear all about it. Moni Shipley says, I would hear the stairs creak and the cushions beside me depressed and not the cushions weren't sad. What she means by depressed as they so like somebody sat on them. They depressed. Okay, they weren't sad. They just depressed. It took my family 5 years after someone unrelated told me the same story. So, mm, I'm a big believer in the feet being on the ground. Okay, and I'm a big believer in um, everybody, including this guy, should remain skeptical. Okay, cynical different. Skeptical. Skeptical means you need more you're more proof, but you're open to believing. That's skepticism. Cynicism means you won't believe it even if your mother stands in front of your face and goes, "It's me." Those are cynics. Cynics just have no beat of life. Okay, they have no time for cynics. I've even thrown cynics out of my events and shows. But I tell everybody to remain skeptical because not everything that goes bang or bump or thump or creak in the night is a ghost. Sometimes it's just the house settling after being a hot day or a cold day. Okay. Sometimes it's just the pipes coming back into order. Sometimes it is an electrical fault. Sometimes it is a water or gas buildup fault. Sometimes it's just nothing to do with spirit at all. Okay. But I'm a big believer in you. If you eliminate what it might be, you're left with what it could be. And that is when you start. So, really go into all situations normal first, then paranormal. A lot of people want to jump straight into paranormal, and that's not the way to do things, okay? Because you find you just waste a lot of your time. So, normal first, then paranormal, not paranormal first. But Mona, being, stairs creaking is a very, very common one. But and I would say, me personally, me would say, what time of the day was that? Was it the time of the day when the sun was going down and the house was resettling again, creaking? Could be something to do with that. But the very fact that you then said that the cushion beside you was depressing, that is a definite yes. You have energy around you. Very likely not going to hurt you. 99.999999999% not going to hurt you. Okay. Okay. I don't know what I'm reading here. Most my greatest joy is now that they actually come back to me and fell on his knees, begging for forgiveness. Oh, I don't know what the heck that's all about. Okay. Lynn, Beatrice. Okay. Oh, we got another idiot jumping in here. So we got Beatrice Sarah Benedict, who is about as psychic as a tube. Uh, about as psychic as a sponge. All right. I'm talking about the sponge that you would cut into, with jam and cream. I wouldn't go anywhere near this idiot. All right. And in fact, I'd really love you guys to report her to Facebook as being fraudulent. Paul, Tina says, thank you so much for sharing all of your insights with us. I appreciate your treat, Tina. It's an absolute pleasure. Absolute total pleasure. Uh, okay, let's have a look. Please don't waste your time with this Beatrice Sarah Benedict. She's about as psychic as a cup of tea. Um, Sue says, yes, I think so. As it's like a movie, exactly the same place. He comes over the barrier and disappears in the same place. That's a ghost, my darling. That's a ghost. But the next time you're in the area, see if you can try and record it. Be interesting. Try and record it. And please report that idiot, Beatrice Sarah Benedict, for me, guys. And let's just get rid of these tubes. Jackie says, hi, just getting back from cheering at the church. Good on you, girl. I hope you had a great night. Welcome to the show. Chelsea says, hi. Well, Chelsea, hi, first and foremost. I'll never forget when my nan passed. She was my best friend. I can completely comply with that. And I dreamt I was in my younger bedroom and called for my nan. I ran downstairs and there she was. I was sobbing in my sleep as we hugged. That is a visitation. Okay. The very fact that you can remember everything to the absolute degree, your feelings, your emotions, and what you did, that's a visitation, Chelsea. My darling sweetheart, thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's amazing. And that was a direct connection between you and your beautiful Nan. Okay. And she can do it again. She can do it again. I can also assure you, with my hand over my heart, that she will be watching over you. All right. Um, right. Let's see what Lynn just saw. I just saw Lynn and the word Archie. Wow. Your show is on again. Archie's booklet has just flown off my shelf. It only happens when you're on screen. I can hear his voice and watching you as he used to do. Bless his little heart, little Archie. Sue says, how do I order your books, please, Paul? Well, the best place to do it is via my website. In fact, what I should do is bring up a banner with my website on it. There we go. Audio copies of the Safeway by going to my website direct, which is www.paulfrancis111.com. I don't know why we say www anymore because every website starts with that. So basically, it's paulfrancis111.com. And if you go on there, you will be able to see links as how to order my book. If you're finding it difficult, you can order my book through Amazon, my books. But here's the thing: there's somebody else out there who was using my name. The difference between my books and that other person's books is you'll always see my ugly mug on the book. If you're going to order the Safeway, everybody, then only order the Safeway Deluxe. The one that came out recently. That is the third and final level of that book. I did 3 levels of the book. You'll see the one in black, and it'll say the Safeway Deluxe. Order that one. That's the one that's full of all the information. Okay, and that was the final sort of style that one's coming out. My secondary book, the one that's out again, is called A Little Book of Quick Wisdom. Order them both, and they're really good gifts as well. I'm trying to set something up where I can get some to Roger and Faye for sale in their shop in their office. Okay, and if I can sort it out, I'll get them signed as well. I'm not too sure whether I can or not, but I'll get them signed. Okay. Woo. But Sue, thank you for asking, my darling. Thank you so very much. Renee says that there was fingers, three huge figures standing at the end of my bed. I don't mess with that stuff now. Yeah, that's not a good place to go. Okay. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a couple of videos and there's a couple of meditations. One's called The Clearing. Go and practice that. Go and listen to it. It's a meditation that I've given to everybody free of charge, and it's called The Clearing. Follow that and do that once a week for a little while, and I promise you, you won't have any issues. Alrighty. Right. Lynn Fern That must be your personal. Okay, 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 okay. Right, we're up to scratch on that. So don't forget, you guys, it's now 10:30. So we're getting close. I wanted to share a couple of instances where I've interacted with ghost energies, and basically it's just some amazing stuff. So one was not too long ago when I was doing an investigation at a pub. Okay, and first and foremost, my secretary at that time, my PA, Barbara, Babs, beautiful Babs, lovely, an amazing human being. Um, I'd love that Babs to be still part of the team, but she's not very well. So, anyway, Babs was my PA, and we went and we were doing this investigation. We were asked to come to this place and do an investigation, and we were, I set up the investigation, done a base reading, check different things out in different places, and taught everybody what to do and so on and so forth. And then I was upstairs and I was teaching everybody how to do what's called glass work. And then one of the gentlemen who'd passed away, who was known to everybody in the pub, was the chef. And I said, well, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get an object that would be solely related to that particular person. Basically, an object that that person would use on a daily basis while he was here and while he was a chef. So I got one of those lighter guns that you use to light the gas when you're going to cook, and I put it onto a piece of clear A4 paper, and I drew around it so the object is inside its own outline on the paper. Okay, so I said to everybody, right, we're going to do what's referred to as a lock off. So we locked off that part of the pub, and the door was locked, and no one was allowed in. And we went off and did a few bits and pieces more. So the owner of the pub went out the back. We had a little bit of a break. The owner of the pub and I went out the back, and we were talking about, and I just kept seeing this vision of this huge white horse and this guy, but he was kind of looked like a knight, but he wasn't like a knight. He had other different things on him, and he had like a lion on him. Anyway, I saw this guy, and he was trying to hide. So I said, "Listen, I got a funny suspicion that royalty was here, and they were hiding for some reason." And the guy who owned the pub was like, "Okay, whatever, mate, you know." And I'm saying, I'm telling you, I'm seeing this huge white horse, and this guy's on it, but he wants to hide. He really, really wants to hide. And so once again, the guy looked at me like I had four heads and went, "Hey, okay." So we carried on with the rest of the event. These other people came in, and about, I don't know, 45 minutes after we had restarted, I get called, "Paul, I need to talk to you." It was the guy who owned the pub. And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I went up to the bar, and he said, "You're not going to believe this." He said, "This guy here is the local historian." I said, "Yeah, all right. How are you?" He said, "How are you?" He said, "How did you know this information?" I said, "What are we talking about?" He said, "The horse and the royalty." I said, "I was just out the back out there, and I just saw him, like in a vision, saw him." And he went, "You're absolutely spot on." He said, "The king hid here from the Roundheads when they were out. Cromwell was trying to take over the country. The king was down here, and he and his bodyguards hid here." I was like, "Oh wow!" So he showed himself to me as a flash, as a spirit. So anyway, we go back upstairs to the lock off room, and we go over and check what's called the trigger object. And not only had it moved out of its space, so we had an A4 sheet of paper, it was laid on it and drew around it, so we knew where the outline was. It was off the A4 paper completely. Okay. So the chap who was the chef was letting us all know he was there. So that was a kind of a double-edged sword there. There's been other ones they were where we were actually frozen and we couldn't move. Literally could not move our legs. In fact, in that Cross Keys pub, Barbara couldn't move. She was like trying to come here, like that. So I went over to her, "What's the matter?" She goes, "I can't move my feet." And I put my hand down, and boop, and her feet just released. She was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god, I can move." Same thing happened to us when we were at Baldu Church. Now, some of you guys here in the Southwest will know what I mean by Baldu Church. And there was a lot of energy there. A lot of okay energy, but there was a couple of bits of okay energy. And we were standing against a gate into that was going into a graveyard. And as we turned to kind of walk away, there was two of us, with myself and another chap to my side, and neither of us could move our feet. Our feet felt like they were just planted, like we'd stood in concrete, and the concrete had hardened. We couldn't move our feet. So I said, right, okay. Both of us were panicking a bit, and I went, okay, okay, this is not gonna. This center, breathe, draw in our guides, draw in our angels. Boom, and both of our feet just let go. And I promise you, with my hand of my heart, my right hand in the air, that happened. Okay. Faye says, we'd love to sell your books. Can't wait to get that. I'll get that. I'll work on how I can get that to you. Okay. Chelsea says, I'd love to see her. Okay, let's bring that up because I can find it easier to see up there. Chelsea says, I'd love to see her looking over us with our new dog. I can hear her voice in my head. My new couch, he's eating my curtains. Yes, that's how they talk to you. You can hear it in in your voice, in your mind. He's running wild like a mad yolk. That's the way to do it, Chels. And you can hear her in your mind's eye and in your heart and in the feelings you're getting around. But it sounds to me that you've got a great connection there, my darling. It really sounds to me like you've got a fantastic connection. Malik is in the room. Malik, hi. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. We have 20 minutes left to go. So you guys want to ask me some questions? Fire away. We've only got 20 minutes left. I can't believe that. That's an hour and 40 minutes. Gone. Great show. Don't forget, I will be back again on Monday, but you have Roger and Faye this coming Saturday. Don't miss that. And don't forget, you've got the guys in the team here. We have some excellent shows on this channel. Do not miss it. Stay glued into uprn.com, especially Michelle and Amelia's show. Don't forget to watch that. And support all these guys. Support us, because with your support, we're able to keep this going. Without your support, it'll fold. So come on, you guys. Get stuck in there. Sue says, thank you. Sue, you are always welcome. I tried taking a 12-stone Rottweiler into the Baldu graveyard. Dawn knows what I'm talking about. On Halloween, he went, no, it's not happening. Lots of unmarked and paupers graves in Baldu. Yes, indeedy, there's all of that, but there's also the fact that in Baldu Church they actually performed the Black Mass. Some guys broke into it and performed the Black Mass. Gosh. Malik SB, I'm feeling flat after the day at work today. Any guidance, please? Well, do you know what? I mean, that's not tonight's show topic, but I'll give you a bit of advice. All right. Just sit comfortably in your chair, lean your head back, and close your eyes. Okay. Now, I'm not just talking to Malik SB here, but everybody. So sit in your chair, your comfortable chair, loosen your clothing, kick off your shoes, put your feet on the ground, and lean your head back and just relax. Just breathe. Right. And let all of the day's aches and pains just float away. Breathe in and out. And if you can do, have some music going before you sit down, some nice, gentle, melodic, spa type music. Then imagine the best shower you've experienced. So remember, the water was perfect, the temperature was perfect. And just imagine that water flowing all over you, head to toe. And as it passes all the way over you, it's pulling away from you all of the stresses, the aches and pains, the worries, and just let it all flow away with this water. Now, as you feel that you're getting better and all of the stress is being washed away, imagine you can see droplets of gold in this water now. Now, this gold is starting to replenish, it's starting to replace all that stress, all that lost and unused and unhelpful, not unused, unhelpful energy. And just see it replacing and filling you and glowing you and starting to form around you like a form of protection. Okay, starts to create an orb, a globe around you until you're inside this globe. The outside of the globe is silver, the inside is gold. So it's energizing you, protecting you, replacing lost energy, getting rid of aches and pains and stresses and healing. And the outside being silver reflects away all negative energies. So you're getting absolutely and totally your own personal spa. And that is called the shower of gold. Give it a go. Dawn, we're going to have to go and do that. You're going to have to become part of the paranormal investigation. You're going to have to become part of Paraghost and check in with. Oh, sorry, just saying, Malik just put up. I feel disconnected from my job. Well, you got to figure that one out for yourself, my angel. Um, so, Dawn, you have to check in with Trudy, especially down here because you don't live too far from Trudy. You live in Truro. Trudy lives in Mevagizzy, and we're putting Paraghost back on the map again. So let's get that going. Give her a shout. Anybody else in the Southwest who wants to be part of Paraghost, then you need to contact me. Message me privately or message Trudy and tell us when and where you want to be, and we will start putting the team back together again. Alrighty. So we are nearly out of time, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you've had a fantastic day today, and remember. Just to finish this off, just for Malik, she said, I feel disconnected from my job. It's not about, you can choose and change your feelings. That's down to you. No one makes you feel one way or the other. I cannot make you feel. You have to choose to feel. So choose to feel about the great things that happen to you. Choose to feel about the great experiences that you get every day. And don't focus on the negatives. Okay? Because when you focus on the negatives, they take over everything. But if you focus on the positives, they take over everything. All right, y'all? I'll be back on Monday with Reach Across. Make sure you're here. Please go out and bring 3 new people to the show. Go on, give that a go. That's my task for you for the weekend. Bring 3 new people to the show on Monday night. Reach Across Live at 8 p.m. here in the UK and 3 p.m. Eastern. Bring 3 new people in, bring them in via YouTube, get them subscribed, get them to hit the little bell icon, and get them to come and watch and be a part of the show. Each one of you, go and get just 3 people. If you get any more, great, but set your start at 3, and do that for me for next Monday night. You got between now and Monday to get 3 people to come and be part of the show. Um, Alex says, I'm aware of that. Not asking for that. Thank you. I don't know what that means. Um, I don't know what that means, man. I don't understand what that statement was at all. Um, as always, it's a pleasure listening to you, to your show. Have a fantastic weekend. I can be absolutely fine, and make sure that Malik, you need to just relax. Do what I said to you about that meditation, and let your negative energies go. Alrighty, just do that. Lisa, it's a pleasure. It's my pleasure for you being here. I appreciate that very, very much. Okay, this doesn't happen without you guys. And otherwise, I'll just be an Irishman sitting here talking to a microphone, talking to himself. So I do my best to help people all over the world. I do my best to, when my day comes that I do have to go home, I'm not going to hurry to get there, trust me. But I want to go leaving people maybe better than I find them. Maybe when I'm standing up there in front of the big guy and he goes, no, you did it right. You did your best to help your fellow man. That's what it's all about. Right? That's what it's all about. So until I see you again, look out for each other. Make sure you communicate, appreciate, and validate everybody in your life. So a medium never has to do it for you. Okay. Take time out of your life every day just for you. Okay. Take time out every single day just for yourself. Be aware of what you have. Be aware of what you're connected to. Be aware of what's literally in front of you. Okay. It's dead easy to get wrapped up in the rat race, but sometimes just step outside in the sun, take a long, deep breath of the air, and center yourself and be aware of how good you are, how amazing you are. Okay. Maybe have a wee look at what you're able to do for other people. Loretta says, sorry I missed this show, but I will rewatch. Please rewatch. I'm sure you'll have a great time doing it, Loretta, but thank you for being here nonetheless. So I'm telling everybody, go out there, find 3 people, bring them to the show on Monday night. See you all at 8 p.m. here, UK time, and that's 3 p.m. Eastern. And until then, look out for each other and have a great time. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all very, very soon. All righty. So good night. God bless.